Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hey, welcome again. We're Cardboard Odysseys, and this is another episode of Cardboard Conversations. As always, I'm Pat, joined by Bob tonight. Hey, Bob, great to have you here. Thank you along for the journey.
Yeah, I'd like to say great to be here. A little under the weather, but I'm here for my fans. Trooper to be here and entertain all of you. And we have Prime with us tonight as well.
Rockin'.
How is everyone doing?
Doing pretty
Wow,
good.
that is such a lively, greeting that it just begs people to answer you. Yeah, how are you?
How are you? Yeah, I don't really care.
And speaking of how are you, how is everybody down in the chat and the comment section tonight?
We haven't talked to you guys since before Christmas. Yeah. I'm kind of excited to hear from everybody. Want to know how everybody's holiday season went? Good, bad, and different. Hopefully it was more good than bad.
We
got a number of people.
I actually did some traveling for the holidays. I was able to go down, see all my family again for Christmas there. Really fun time. It was a short weekend for me, but an absolute blast. I checked a lot of stuff off the list. Got to hang out with my niece, my cousin, all his kids, got to see my aunt, uncle, dad, mom. It was the whole thing. The only person I didn't see was my brother, and honestly, screw that guy anyways.
Oh, wow.
You haven't met him. It totally on point. That's definitely Brandon,
Well, there's always hope. I'm ever hopeful. I have mended fences with my brother, and we're talking again. At least after my dad died, we repaired our relationship of not talking for more than a year. Not saying we're best buddies, but at least we're talking. Time is short for all of us.
Speaking of best buddies, Prime, it's great to have you back on the show again.
Thanks. Thanks for having me. I was just hanging out doing nothing. I ordered pizza. That's about it.
Ouch, Stefan. Ouch. I hope everybody gets to mend fences with people that are willing to have decent relationships. Cut out toxicity in your life, even if it's your family. But, sometimes be the better person. Be the bigger person. It doesn't help for everybody to have, that line in the sand and nobody ever crosses it. So don't live a life that you would regret. Most people don't regret things they do. I learned that very young. They regret the things they didn't do.
Yep,
that's true.
Usually, and I already have a couple of those regrets in my life.
Well, it's not too late, thankfully. You're a young guy.
Well, it is. Well, certain people aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
Well, now that may be true, and that's that's unfortunate, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Like I didn't get to say goodbye to my grandpa. That's a huge regret for me, and I should have.
Well, on a happier note, though, how was everybody's holiday? I know you said you went and visited your sister. I know, Pat, that you were looking at. Oh, look at that!
Whoa.
Member for 5 months. Look at that!
Dang, look at that!
I think it was our very first member, if I remember correctly, and I appreciate that. Stefan, very much would like to have you on the show at some point as a guest.
Absolutely. We're definitely leaning much more into that this coming year. It's something we talked about behind the scenes. Is we're trying to get more guests on the show. It's always a big fun, having different people come on and chat for a while. So we enjoy the conversations we have with Prime, everybody else from the community as well. So we'd love to have Cosmic on sometime as well. And yes,
speaking of
for
which,
sure, definitely number one.
I'm not going to name drop so that it doesn't, it doesn't jinx it, but we may have a fairly significant YouTuber lined up as a guest in the next couple of weeks here. So stay tuned. I would love all of the viewers to show the support for us and showing that you appreciate that we're reaching out to the community and getting, bigger names than ourselves to come visit.
Honestly, if it actually works out, I'm just blown away. I got one of the notifications for this guy's channel this morning. It was like, whoa, I can't under wraps, but exciting.
Yeah, let's not spoil who it is because it's not, in concrete yet. But if we get him actually on the show, I think it'll be,
hey, we got Twiddler here. Look at this guy, man.
It'll be a pretty big name. Hopefully, it'll be a pretty entertaining time. We'll try to, do our special flavor here of Cardboard Odysseys and what we do when we interview people and talk about some of the things.
This is how you feel, isn't it?
I'm not quite that, but if there was one that just had like the crud.
What up, Johnny?
Just
man, we got quite a crew coming on.
Feeling great. Wow,
I got just like
a we got
really
so
weird.
I'd love to see what everybody got. You know, give us the highlight from your holidays, whether it was visiting someone, something that you got, something that you gave. You know, speaking of which, you know, looking behind me, Miss Sherry Vegas bought me a box of the first chapter, and I did not open it on stream. She wanted me to. I wanted to open it with her, and of course, she's opened a grand total of 21 packs. Total 21 packs. So far, she's opened 3 enchanted foils, including Belle, which was in the box that she bought me. She opened Elsa out of a starter deck. And her very first pack, she opened the enchanted foil Genie. She also opened a cold foil legendary Mickey Intrepid Tailor. So, I mean, her luck is just bonkers. With that crazy, set for like high value cards.
Yeah, I can't explain it. You know, Sherry,
oh my god, it's like I've opened 2 boxes worth and I haven't hit any of that. I haven't even opened she also opened a cold foil Hades, which is also a high value card.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Don't worry.
We'll get back to that, Twiddler, on Lorcana for 2024. You haven't missed that yet. We haven't really dug into things deep. We're just kind of doing the butt sniffing phase at the moment here, getting back started up after the holidays.
I haven't washed, so good luck.
Yeah, we already said you kind of stink today there.
That's not at all what I said. Pat said I was ugly, and I said I didn't feel great.
Okay, well, I'll
that's
say
just our usual back and forth. I have no idea why. I think it's just our time playing D&D together, where it was just you were almost adversarial as a player. Where it's like, why the fuck is this warlock going in? No, you can't do that. And I've played enough Baldur's Gate 3 at this point. You don't send the warlock in first. Like,
yeah, I mean, and glad for you, Dual Brain. Speaking of holidays, I finally did see my gift hanging on your wall.
He made that. That video was this morning. Came out this morning with his mail.
Well, but I saw the packs up on the wall. So if you have a video, I have to go catch it yet. Thank you for that. Video. I don't even want to know if there's enchanted foils in there because it'll crush my soul. We've had that conversation.
There's one in each.
That would be something.
But we'll never know because he's never going to open them.
So I'm not seeing anything in chat here for anything interesting or fun from the holiday season.
For me over the holidays. Personal thing, I gotta say, guys, honestly, just a me thing. My mom hasn't been doing really well for the last couple of years, and as an adult, it finally came to the point where I started having to do adult shit. So we moved my mom out of the house that I grew up in, and we're finally able to get her in a really nice retirement community.
Oh, dude.
And I got to go and visit the place that she's going to be living at. So I helped her move in a couple of things and got her set up and, chilled out at my mom's new place. Literally the nicest little community, the most like wonderful little condo kind of unit for her. She's got a lot of care. So if anything ever happens to her, if she ever needs help, she's got the right people there for her. So that was a real big thing for me over the holidays.
Nice.
And, I think everybody at some point will kind of have to face that in their life where their parents aren't the big, strong people that they grew up with. And I unfortunately got to go through that. But on the bright side, she's in a good place. So a lot of weight off my shoulders. Really been great for my mental health, not having to think about,
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mrs. Pat.
I do hope for the coming year. I think I hope it'll be a better year, but we'll talk about that in as the show progresses. I think we should just recap since we haven't quite hit 2024 yet, and everybody else has given their recap thoughts on 2023. I think 2023 is a learning curve year for many collectibles because people keep talking about how shitty the economy is. It's not. I don't know if you all pay attention to the stock market, but it's doing well. The people that are doing shitty are the people that borrow a lot of money. right?
Yeah.
If you actually have money in a checking account or in a savings account or in an investment account, you're probably telling yourself right now it's looking pretty good, right?
Yes.
So it's right now
Yeah.
it's the time of the grass and the ant, the grasshopper and the ant. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The industrious ants versus the grasshopper that's just been playing. And that's a big thing for me. I played Dirty Santa with the family. Wow, I don't even know where that's going. Dirty Santa with the family. Wow.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't eat chocolate, but that was fun. Okay, I have no idea what it means outside of chocolate. Had a good time. So let's just leave it there, you dirty Santa.
I'm only knowing it in the terms of like Billy Bob Thornton, Bad Santa. So
yeah. You ain't gonna walk right for a week.
Oh, and speaking of LEDs, Ed,
I watched that opening.
I just put a bunch of LEDs all over my apartment, and the weirdest thing. So
That's not
how do you got a bunch
about.
of lion's eye diamonds, Pat? Are you rich?
Oh wait, no, I just mean like the ones that light up. And shit.
No, he means that he opened a lion's eye diamond. You need to watch that video. His reaction is friggin' priceless.
It's hilarious, dude. Okay, so I was texting him. I'm like,
oh god,
do you guys
perfect.
know who Lonely Island is? The band. So it's Andy Sandberg from SNL.
Oh, Lonely Island. Yeah. I'm on a boat.
Jizzed in My Pants.
Yeah,
is the song I immediately thought of when I heard Ed go.
I think I had a similar experience. When Strixhaven was really popping off, I did a collector box battle with Big Box Dave, and I opened up one of the Japanese alt art demonic tutors, and boy, oh boy, I was shaking when I got that. Literally, like, dropped it on the table because I didn't want to keep touching it for too long.
Yeah, it's if any of you haven't watched that video of Ed opening the old packs, go and watch that. It's not a very long video, but it's heartwarming to see Dual Brain get that excited. I mean, he handles a lot of old cards, so to see, it takes a bit to get him excited like that. If you know Ed, he's not the most animated person, I guess you could say. Very pleasant, but not very animated. But he's pretty animated on that one. So that was really nice. Yeah. That was slightly and just so you know, Ed, that's about half of the reaction that I had when Sherry Vegas opened the enchanted foil Elsa. I was literally running around screaming like I scored a touchdown. It was amazing.
Me with Manicure.
Speaking of touchdown, go Browns. Looking, second time in 21 years, going to the playoffs. So.
Are you talking sports again?
Are you talking about sporty ball?
Sports team.
Yeah.
Yes, I watched the sports balls.
Oh, speaking of sports ball, you see what Georgia's doing to FSU right now?
I don't watch college sports ball. I know it's weird.
It's I got it on the TV. It's 63-3.
Yeah, see, that's college.
FSU fans are pissed because FSU didn't get into the playoff. The Final Four. They got pulled because Alabama beat Georgia. Who?
Yeah, see, I don't understand it. College ball has always confused me. I hate the fact that they pick.
Oh, it's rigged. It's always rigged. Georgia sucks. Georgia sucks, Twiddler.
Let's not get started with that. Let's not get contentious with our audience.
Why are LEDs that cool to people? Like, I mean, they're cool and everything, but it is 2 50-foot strips. So I got up a list here. Like we said, a little bit of a review here. So this is 2023's release schedule. So you can see we started off with Dominaria Remastered. Not only did it start out early, we got a lot of printing on it. So I think that was one of the.
All right. So let's dive into year in review before we get into the upcoming year. Right.
Right. Yeah.
But let's cover that. So clearly, Lord of the Rings, they were able to milk that for all it was worth. And
twice
from
over.
What I'm seeing, the numbers for the reprint of it, it just didn't hold up well for the December printing.
I feel like the holiday edition's holding up better than the regular one, though.
For the moment, but we're closer to release to that. And that's sort of a problem that we have is we're so short-sighted, right? Like here, I wanted to point something out because I was thinking about it when I was looking in review at all these things, and people are talking about how well this set did this year, and well that set. I don't even, like even with Lorcana, any card game, right? I sold 4 Gaia's Cradles at $25 a piece in 2009 or 2010, right? So over 10 years, 10 or 11 years, the card was $29, right? It wasn't stupid expensive, right? So if you looked at it after 10 years and it was only a $20 card, you wouldn't say, oh, that card rocketed. And this is before they did the reprint, era. So what are we doing? What I'm saying is we're looking at too short of a time span, right? And over that whole 10 years, that card didn't go up and down and up and down and up and down. It just gradually crept along, right? And now we look at cards and we're like, oh, it's a banger, or a set. Oh, it's a banger. We don't even know how Modern Horizons 2 is going to fare over time, especially with the massive amount of printing that they did.
MH2?
Right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a banger of a set. If you ask me,
I
it's
agree.
probably the second best set next to Urza Saga in Magic's history.
I would agree. Wow. However, the how many they made.
Oh yeah,
right. They need to
we don't know
allocate again. They need to start allocating.
Here's the problem, and I'm going to speak about that. I want to speak about that because it's something I just learned in the last week. I was watching Alex from I don't remember the name. From Ashen Wings. And he was talking about, and he did a little segment while I was chatting with him about Grand Archive. Now, Grand Archive, and this really stuck out to me, is that, well, we don't know how much they had, Dual Brain. That's the thing. And what I'm about to bring up, Grand Archive said they will be 100% transparent with their print run numbers. They're going to show you, actually, if we could bring it up right now, I don't even know, if you just did like Grand Archive print runs. They've already stated. I don't really like the anime. It's not like my thing. I don't really know about the gameplay. I watched a little bit of it and I was like, I don't understand. But I'm old. However, the fact that they said to the collector community that we're going to have a focus and we're going to show you, our 100% transparency with the print runs, right? That means a massive amount to me about what the company feels and how they're involved with the audience. I think that's something like if you were going to ask me what one thing could WotC do to help really fix their horrible PR problem that they have, just getting worse. See right there, Grand Archive provides full print run transparency for collectors. The index, and there's an index that shows you like in detail. I don't know where it is, but he went through it, and I was like, "Wow, that's really neat." I mean, you can look up everything, every number. I see. There's where we go with that, Coach. That was sort of my opinion, but I do care. I think that's like if I'm going to look at like a fourth or fifth thing to collect, Grand Archive just made my radar strictly because of their transparency. That alone makes me interested. Before 0.0% interest, and we had Mark from Solar Games on here before, who's a big advocate for Grand Archive.
Yeah, it's funny. So Matt and I actually, when we were at Gen Con, we went to
find that index. I'm gonna see if I can't find that.
We went to the Grand Archive booth and we talked to I forget the guy's name, but he was on the production staff of one of the design teams, and the really nice fella. He gave us some starter decks, and I actually picked up 2 separate like theme convention things. And I gotta say, that's something I really enjoyed about seeing what their product line was, is that they actually had boxes. It was, I can grab one here, small box. It's got 8 booster packs, and you can only buy them at conventions. I love. What the fuck are you doing, Dennis? Are you raising your hand?
Yes.
Just interrupt me like a grown-up.
I don't want to. No. Why is Khans of Tarkir on this list?
Oh, because it's on Arena.
It wasn't.
This
before?
Is not.
No, Khans of Tarkir. They did the entire fucking set over again on Arena.
So there's fetches in Arena.
There's another
now.
one. Who cares? I so hate Arena. All right, so this is the index I was talking about, and so you can find every single card that they have.
They're transparent, right? But who cares? Yeah,
and I kind of agree with that, but you start somewhere, like. And this right here, they show you it's got a normal population, it's a common, and there's about 80,000 that exist. Some of these they said they're going to reprint, like they'll tell you if it's a reprintable thing, and they'll have like a unlimited version, but they'll have like I thought it was a mistake for Flesh and Blood to get away from the first printing and unlimited. I thought that was a much better model for financial value and collectors. But this is what I'm talking about. This is a type of transparency I really think we need from WotC to start repairing the damage that they've done, because nobody trusts them. I mean, Rudy's been talking. Oh, it's not me. That's not a Bob take.
Oh, dude, Richie.
Nobody trusts WotC.
Oh, what a guy. Oh, also, by the way, Richie, since you won that giveaway, you should be getting that Lorcana box here pretty soon. That starter deck. So hope to get to play you something soon, man.
Like I said, this is just something that, like, I was like, wow, I wish WotC would do that. I agree with you, Ed, and I think that was a mistake, and they're suffering for it now. Their boxes are $45 a piece. It's terrible.
Yes.
It's terrible. I said it was a bad idea in the first place, and lo and behold, indeed, that's what's happening. So I think that this is a great idea. I think that they need to be transparent like this. I think they need to show, the collectors, because these are collectible card games. Otherwise, they're just living card games with game pieces, right?
Yeah.
And as we see, the game pieces thing doesn't bode well for anybody. Not even the people that want the game pieces, because you know what that ultimately leads to? The game going out of business.
Well, I think that's a great point, because if you look at something like Monopoly, who the fuck cares about, like, I think, Uno. They've made enough Uno cards where you could just not make more and still play Uno until the end of time. Poker. Like, they've made enough just regular playing cards, and those are just play pieces. Literally the epitome of play pieces. And it's just not important that those cards are of a certain type. You can buy fancy ones that have all of, like, I don't know, sexy playgirls on it, right? Yeah, no, if that's what you want to do, go ahead, do that. Customize them. Get
Mr. DJ. Thank you. Wow. Is that our first super chat?
DJ, my man. Happy New Year's.
I didn't even know we could have super chats. Well, thank you. And happy early New Year to you, too. And for anybody who's joined us a little later, we want to see in chat what you guys had special for this holiday season. So, get it out of jail card, man. Just hold on to those. They'll be valuable in the future.
They don't work.
Yeah,
I tried.
Doesn't work. But I agree with you, Richie. They want it both ways. And I think what they did is they stepped on the gas, right? They realized that, oh, shit, look, we're taking off. Let's milk it even more, right? They had that Black Swan event that during the COVID era, and totally not due to anything they did. If you want to say anybody, that jackass, what's his name? Jake Paul? Is that the one that opened the Pokemon box?
Yeah. Logan Paul.
Really,
Logan Paul.
He's the one that set the collecting world on fire for that moment. And then it just, during an era of super boredom, super onlineness,
I gotta say,
everybody wanted to get into that guy with,
like, he had a PSA 10 Charizard or something as a necklace, like he was Flava Flav for a while.
I don't know. He's a jackass.
Funny.
But
the guy's
he just did a thing, lucky lightning strike, and he honestly kicked it off. I hate him too. Yeah, but I don't hate him. I just think he's a jackass.
I hate him. I'll openly say it.
I don't hate people. That's just a really strong word. But again, WotC's guilty of what a lot of short-sighted companies are guilty of. Oh, hey, our moneymaker is taking off right now. Let's milk it for all it's worth rather than sticking to our core fundamentals, which got us here. Right?
I actively hate
they completely abandoned the core fundamentals that kept Magic alive for 30 years. And that is building value over time slowly in cards because you responsibly print sought after pieces. And they just said, F it. Let's print them all as fast as possible. Get them in everybody's hands.
And I think we see that repeated in other media as well. I think that movies if we look at the Marvel franchise, they milked that shit like a cow. And it got to the point where you just couldn't give away, it wasn't enthralling to people because it came out so rapidly and there was such a huge inundation of product line for it. And I think with Magic the Gathering, we're in a similar situation here as well. There was just too much stuff that came out in 2023 for me to care. I think probably about April 420 hit and I just stopped caring.
Well, I think clearly it was, and Ed, you were probably the first live place I went with my realization. It was nothing that changed other than my understanding and realization, and that was the Fireside Chat, really rereading, understanding. I had to listen to it a few times, and every time I went through it, I was like, wow, if you guys really go through that line by line, there are transcripts of it out there. It's just so revelational about the insight of the top people in the company that just clearly don't understand their audience, right? And then all they've done since then, in my opinion, is double down, triple down. Now they're firing people.
Oh God, yeah.
2023. If you want to talk about WotC as a company, 2023. How much of their workforce have they fired this year alone?
I'd say 20%.
Yeah, 1 in 5. Like I was watching something the professor put out. He's like, people in a boardroom. Johnson, what do you've got for us? We should, people that love these cards, we should reprint the heck out of them. People will buy the product. Great idea. You're fired. It's like, yes, that's pretty much what happened with Wizards of the Coast this year. It's just a bunch of idiots all working together. Yeah, about 3,000.
Well, they had 6,000 employees at the beginning of the year. They had 6,000 at the beginning of the year, and then there was the 15% or 10%. No, it's 15, right?
Oh yeah, because the first one in March. Huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 15%, and then another 10%.
They almost downsized by half.
That's okay. Maybe I had it backwards. Yeah. It's
45%.
I mean, I really want to bring that to a very fine point here. Fab, if you haven't looked, has just nosedive. MetaZoo, I don't know that they're going to recover at all. Rudy has dropped Fab and probably MetaZoo at this point as well. And he's been their biggest promoters. So, in the face of that, I'm glad you're here, Pat. I went looking because people love to poo-poo on Lorcana. Those people. Go look at the box sales.
$7. Fuck this noise. The most recent Flesh and Blood set here, $66.96. Let's call it $75 shipped, and you can get the newest box of Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, but what's more important is looking at the actual sales numbers. They're just not selling very many, right? When you go to look at the box sales compared to Lorcana, it's just like I went and looked at it. I'm like, wow, Lorcana is honestly off the chain with the number of sales.
Oh, especially now. I mean,
if you saw there, no, hold on. I want you to go back through that a little bit, and I want you to look at how many this month, right?
So we got.
So keep going down. So there's about 12 right there on screen. Maybe about another 12 there. You have to go to another one. So maybe we'll call it about 25 on that page. 25 boxes there.
Yeah, and these are all 1 or 2. I don't think
Right. Well, we already went past 1. December.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And there's not one.
Maybe 30 or 40 boxes in December. Now let's go take a look at Lorcana. Let's look at the first box. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I've got to say,
120 to 130. Wow, that's a great deal.
This is the way to live. I don't know how I got by 140. Jesus Christ, it's not showing my sign-in stuff because I'm probably just going to buy one of these boxes while you guys aren't looking.
Well, I wouldn't. I think there's another print wave incoming, actually. I don't know if they keep coming in. But just look at the number of sales.
This is below MSRP, though. Including shipping and stuff, this is $143.99. I think
was MSRP
$153.99.
No, that's also $15 shipping. So you're looking at about 160, 170.
Yeah. So it'll be 170 shipped, which, man, I'm super fine with.
If you go up, though, look at the number of sales is what I was talking about. Like the sales volume.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm just going to straight up call Moxman out because he called out Lorcana as like going to be one of the ones that doesn't survive.
Okay, there's more sold today, literally.
Right.
Today.
Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like try to count that for the month of December, dude. Like you're just going to give up after about 15 pages, right? And there's one of them that had 20 boxes, like on like a couple of days ago on one sale. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, clearly.
So there wasn't a single buyer of Bright Lights on TCG Player in all of December of an order number higher than 2 boxes. There was no 3+ box orders. We didn't go over to a case. Maybe that's a little bit different thing, but I do not think that.
I listened to Moxman out of Semper Fidelis, and he was one of the first ones that I talked to about becoming a YouTube content creator, and you can gain something from everybody if your ears are open and your mouth is shut.
Yes.
However, I think he's delusional. He's like, "Hey, cards are dropping all over the place. Buy now." I'm like, "That's a terrible idea. Like that is a terrible idea.
Absolutely terrible idea." Yes.
And then he was thinking about how all these games aren't going to survive. I don't know if Lorcana is going to survive. You don't know if Lorcana is going to survive. But what we do know is that sales numbers like what we're seeing here, like they're off the chain. They're absolutely off the chain. So I'm going to be tuning into Josh again, keeping tabs because he keeps track of all the box sales on TCG. Yeah. And Lorcana is just absolutely crushing it in sales.
So I do want to say I think there's a huge difference in what you get as a starter product in Flesh and Blood and what you get for Lorcana. What I mean by this is when you get a starter deck, a blitz deck for Flesh and Blood, number one, it's not the way that people normally play the game. It is by far the most secondary, way to engage with the product line. When you play Lorcana, you actually get a deck. There is one format currently to play the game. It's Commander-esque.
And it's a full-size deck.
Right. It's a full deck, and you also get a pack of cards in it to open. So your entry-level experience, yes, is probably $5 to $10 more, but you actually get something worthwhile. You really get an experience. When you open up Flesh and Blood's blitz decks, yes, you are able to instantly get in. They're like $11, but it's not equitable.
Highlight Twiddler's comment because I absolutely want to address this. It is because they followed through on exactly what they said they were going to do. They told us when we were in Indianapolis they wanted to do this. We've seen it from their North American CEO, I think is what his title is, or North American president. They are printing the crap out of it.
Yes.
It was purely a supply issue, and this is great. We're seeing this number of sales. What that means, the people that are buying the boxes now are not people going, well, let me buy it because it'll go up, 500% in the next 3 years. People are buying these boxes, finally, because they want to fucking play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's been no doubt in my mind that people want to play this game. I want to play the game. I like playing the game. My LGS, who nuked a bunch of Magic events, is now in talks with Ravensburger about how he's supposed to set up play. And that's I have to imagine that if it's happening at my LGS, that's got to be happening at a lot of LGSs where they finally approved the stores for Lorcana play, right? So that means we're going to start seeing it more and more and more if you go to LGSs. And if you ask the LGS if they're going to start holding Lorcana events, tournaments, leagues, I'll bet you're going to start seeing much more of that. And that's what this game desperately needs. But all of this is very good for the game.
Damn, son. Guys are being straightforward.
Wow, you guys are brutal towards Mox, man. I'm sorry, Mox.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't knock him. Honestly, there's a reason I unsubbed and stopped supporting him because I don't believe his opinions. And don't get me wrong, opinions are opinions, and I've got 1 or 2 Soldevi excavations. So I played my part when I was into
excavations because I just never believed in it, or Mox Ambers.
Well, I mean, to me, it's just I don't think that the reserve list long term is going to stay around.
He talks about what he wants to see in Magic. Like he comes off as if he's showing us meaningful numbers by showing us the top sales of the week. First off, I don't even know where he's pulling all the numbers from. Secondly, I think he takes the twist of fitting the data to his opinion rather than fitting his opinion to the data.
What?
Wow.
No. What?
Wow. I just ordered a case and I feel kind of butthurt.
What? Get right the fuck out of here.
Wow. What's the volume though? What's the sales volume? Because like, ridiculous. I think they just got a okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this game is not in trouble in any fashion.
Yeah.
The only people that are in trouble, and I am so happy about it right now,
fuck out of here,
are all those knuckleheads that were buying, speculating to flip and drive the market up, and now they're stuck with all the Lorcana that they didn't sell off at lower prices.
Yo, for real.
I bet you there's a lot of the speculator flippers that are now in deep shit. I haven't opened any yet. Rise of the Floodborn, but that really makes me want to open a box now.
I've opened up a number of their blister packs, probably half a dozen. It's actually pretty fun. So when I went and played with my buddy Matt, I've played 2 games of Lorcana in person. It's actually the most recent TCG I've played in person, and we did the 2 precons for Rise of the Floodborn. It was really fun. It's a fun game to play. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that it's a simpler game. It's not as cutthroat. You know, the depth of the mechanics won't allow it to be really at this point. The most cutthroat thing you can do is just play aggro, which is solitaire. I don't interact with you, and I just do my shit.
I got to be honest with you, Twiddler. I think that it's, and I said this and maybe not as concisely as I should about Lorcana. So we'll talk about Lorcana coming in 2024. We already know what's coming in the 3rd set. Excited about that. The problem is it hasn't been able to breathe long enough to set up like events and tournaments and things at LGSs because of supply. So hopefully we'll start seeing a lot more of that in 2024, which I absolutely expect. But looking to Lorcana for value, financial value at this point, is insanely premature. What I mean by that is this is not something you should be looking at for long-term value. I expect the cards as more boxes are printed, and they're trying to flood the cards to get into hand. That they're doing what they need to do to get the game off the ground. They need game pieces at this point. They haven't been around long enough to worry about establishing long-term financial value. They have to have a game that exists first before they can start worrying about financial value. So what does that mean for long-term? And when I talk about long-term, if the game survives 5 years, it's likely to survive another 5.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that it will survive 5 years. That's far too speculative to say what's going to happen between, Ravensburger and Disney. And not that the game's not good, but there's more complicated things in hand here. It's a foreign company, right? So that's also a level of complexity with international relations and, shipments and things of that nature. So there are definitely concerns. I've always hyped Lorcana because of the potential that it can have. It can really explode. And I think that it needs to exist on shelves for a while, for a few years, for people to start picking it up and actually playing it, and a community to actually form. And I really think they need to have more advertisement and more formal events for people to attend, cons and Grand Prix and things of that nature. I think they should hold them at the Disney parks. I think that would be just banger. It'll be super expensive, so it'll be a bit more elite, but I just think the experience would be absolutely nuts. That if you went down to, Orlando to play in an annual tournament of Lorcana, that would be just off the chain in my book.
I gotta say, honestly, Twiddler, if you're looking at the highest price singles out of the 2 sets that they've released, definitely First Chapter has the highest value singles outside of the Enchanted, including them as well. But again, to reiterate what Bob's saying, is I don't think this is a product line too open for that purpose.
No,
I would agree with that. This is like your Unos and your right. This is what they want.
No, I don't think it's to that point. I
no, of course not.
First off, it's far too early. They do have clearly some collectible value to them, but you're going to have to wait 5 to 10 years to start looking at it to say, well, what kind of value does it really have? Because it has to exist. Because the day that it shuts down, a la Star Wars Destiny, if you look at that, lots of cards had lots of value, but they mishandled that whole tournament scene because we don't even know what the tournament scene and rotations will look like, and power things will look like,
and what
the
power 9 of Lorcana. Yeah,
it's far too early on to tell. I think that it would be fun to open for your type of channel, Twiddler.
But
absolutely. I don't think that it's meant to be for value hunting. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know that Magic's going to fare any better. And we know that Lorcana is intending to make lots of the product available because of the mega stumble coming out of the gates with product availability. So now they're on the, let's print the shit out of it till we don't see sales anymore like what we're seeing on TCG Player. Because understand, TCG Player is just one place, right? It's one place to get product. And if it's selling that much on TCG Player, I'll bet you it's selling like hotcakes in multiple places.
That's a cheap deck.
It's even selling at the LGS by me. It's super inflated.
So I'm glad. I think
they did drop packs.
Very healthy place. For 2024, I think the biggest thing is you're going to start seeing more organized play at LGSs. I think that's going to be the bigger transition.
Agreed. 100%.
I hope that they've shaken all the fleas off the dog, meaning all of the damn flippers, and they just take the value out of it. Like that needs to disappear because it starved the product from being able to get played. Like it's not a game unless people play it. And playing on Pixelborn, while it kind of is a placeholder to play, it's not the same as getting in person. It's not the same as giving the cards to your nieces and nephews and children and grandchildren. Like Pat, didn't you share some with your nieces this Christmas?
Absolutely not. We were fucking around with our dog the whole time, and it was super fun. Don't regret a moment.
It was Richie.
Yeah,
Richie got his nieces. All kinds.
So hopefully there's going to be more stories like that, and I think that's the healthy place where the game needs to be. I think it'll continue to grow in 2024 with the player base, and hopefully they'll scale back the print run numbers. I don't think it's healthy to go too far below MSRP.
What is that?
Nice
flow wrap.
Oh, dude, it reminded me of a scene from Waterworld. When he paper.
So I think that's where we're going to see Lorcana go this year in 2024. I hope that we start seeing more and more people pull back from purchasing Magic the Gathering. A message needs to be, we need to fire a shot across the bow of WotC. You've destroyed the value of it. You're going to have to do something drastic.
But the Timmy Game Piece army outweighs us, Bob. That's the issue. The Timmy Game Piece army is just there's too many.
They're just louder. They're just louder. I'll tell you whose wallet speaks much more. Here's the thing, and I think I don't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it was Richie. The casual player by far provides more income to most games, and I don't care if it's World of Warcraft. I don't care if it's Magic, I don't care if it's Lorcana, I don't care what it is. Casual players, by nature, they don't take the time to go out and complain on message boards. They don't take the time to complain to the company directly.
That's true.
Casual players simply go, oh, well, done with that, and they walk away. Yep. And when you start having that happen in mass, they do it quietly, right? It'll show up in the numbers.
A great way to explain that, and we've got a couple of other content creators here, especially in chat, and you guys can certainly feel this as well. like a stream like this, when people start dropping off, they don't say, hey guys, conversation got boring, have a good night, talk to you next week. They don't.
No, they just disappear.
Right. Yeah. They just fucking leave. Yep. And that's how it is when I played the Harry Potter trading card game back in the 2000s. Did I write a letter to the manufacturers saying I didn't enjoy the depth of your cards? No, I just stopped buying them. I stopped playing the game. Like, it's the same thing when Diablo 3. Did I send Blizzard an email saying that I thought it was a travesty that you could just make a character that has all of the abilities? No, I just stopped playing the game. And I think that that's what, unfortunately, a lot of MTG players are going to do, is that they'll just leave. Wizards will probably know what they fucked up on doing, but there aren't enough vocal people early enough on to actually change the tides.
Well, do they really even care?
They have the additional pressure of Hasbro pushing on them.
That's a tough question, Prime.
Do they care? I mean, do they know what they're doing, and do they care?
Honestly,
I look like it.
Don't think they care that much. Like,
if they're making money,
and I'll tell you why.
Care about the most.
I think they're going to punch the golden parachute button before, like the people that are at the top now, specifically Cynthia Williams and Chris Cox, right?
Sorry, dude.
They already benefited from their bad behavior. They've already gotten those numbers juiced. They already got their $10 million salaries. They already got their bonuses out of what they've done to the game.
Yeah.
The problem is, how do you fix it? And I don't think that they want to. I'll bet you they're out shopping already, looking for places to go next.
Yeah.
Right.
They're shopping.
Yeah, there's definitely a cocktail party that's getting thrown.
You don't cut, 25 to 50% of your workforce and think we're doing well.
Yeah.
So if you don't think that the people at the top,
they keep telling us they're doing good, right?
Yeah. If you're doing that great, you don't need to cut all these employees.
You usually don't lay people off if you're doing okay.
So again, I'll bet you they're already job shopping, and they've already written their ticket on it. They've already gotten their benefit from it, right? They've already made their millions, and they've already made their mark. And if they can bounce out before it really nosedives, then it was absolutely the right move for them.
I have no idea.
And the wrong move for the game, right? They will have done exactly what they wanted for their career and get to leave before things get all poopy. And they go, well, it wasn't me. Somebody else was at the helm when it went to shit, right? Even though it's their things that they did that caused it to do that. I'll bet you that's what they're looking at. So if you ask, do they care? No, I bet you they care a whole lot more about what opportunities and openings there are for them to jump to next. I'll bet you we're going to see one, if not both of them, do that in the very near future.
Speaking of bad ideas, Wizards of the Coast did this year. March of the Machines Aftermath. I want to kick the horse. It's dead, but I got steel toes on. So let's dive right in. 2023 in review. March of the Machines Aftermath. Honestly, I think it's the second worst thing that Wizards of the Coast did this year. Opinions on it? What do you guys think? Did any of you open those adorably small packs?
Honestly, I think Commander Masters was the worst thing that they did. And I think it's a bad idea, but I think Commander Masters was worse.
I have one for you. Even though I said it was going to be set of the year in January, fucking Dom Remastered.
Oh, no, I said back in January, I'm not touching this one with a 10-foot pole.
I was
that shit excited. Oh, that shit was great for a week, and then the ass just fell out of it.
God
I was saying that before the product even released.
Hey, Bob, sometimes I don't listen to you.
Yeah, right. Like, that's the thing about being an adult, Bob.
But I was surprised when they cut the price to 50%. 6 months later.
Yeah. Richie says Aftermath gets 4.4 out of 5 size.
There are cards that here's the thing: is there are cards I like. Honestly, it's the last set that I paid attention to the pre-release. Like, I paid attention to some of the pre-release for Lord of the Rings, not at all for Commander Masters. I just didn't care about that right from the rip.
Commander Masters was fucking terrible.
What else, Bob? When you say pre-release, do you mean when old school MTG was opening it because he accidentally got it delivered early and the Pinkerton showed up,
and then they sent the cops after him?
Yeah. Yes. Like, do you mean pre-release like that, or do you mean when Blake Rasmussen opens up stuff, or do you
Words.
or do you mean the MTG Ambassador program where like 3 weeks after they sent the Pinkertons to this guy's house for opening up cards early, they started sending out cards to people so they could open them up early? Are you talking about that fiasco? No, you must be joking, good sir.
No, I just meant like the spoiler season.
Oh God, we were
and there are some cards that I like out of it. There really are. I think there are some and I want to say that about all these sets is that it's not a problem necessarily with how good the cards are, though I think that in itself is a problem because the only way that they're selling sets at this point is to perpetually push power creep. Like within a very short period of time, we're going to just start seeing almost every game become a turn 0 win.
Like,
great card.
Yes, it's a great card, and it's broken as shit. Why?
Yeah,
I'm glad it's cheaper though because it was a $40.
I have to say this is a year of broken cards. Between cards like this, you had the One Ring, which is just breaking things all over the place. The Orcish Bowmasters. That card that you were sharing with us yesterday, that Walking Throne thing.
Yeah, so the Walking Throne's fucking busted. So is that Schmill.
Okay, just so many busted cards, in all honesty. And I mean, cards that we're not even considering busted are looking at like Mondrak, right? And Elish Norn.
Why are you making it 3 times? Like, this is just dumb. Like, how did I not know this card existed? I ask rhetorically because I stopped paying attention to Magic the Gathering releases early this year because I just couldn't handle how quickly cards were coming out. There were probably more cards put out this year than all of the 90s put together.
I don't think so, but
I don't know, bro. That's close.
I think that's a pretty fair fight, though.
Well, yeah, when you have sets with thousands of cards in them.
I'm not talking like Krillin versus Goku. This is like Vegeta versus Goku kind of shit. I think there might have been as many cards put out this year as all of the 90s.
No.
Kakarot.
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but the pace of releases are absurd. I'll say that there were more reprints in this year alone than there were in all of the 90s.
Yeah, that's the word of 2023, reprint. If you were to sum up Magic the Gathering in 2023 in one word, that one word for me would be reprints.
I feel like that's
just in the last 2 years alone. I think they've had more reprints than they have in all the other 28 years before it.
These reprinted EDH staples are available for a steal. Hey, thanks, Dominaria Remastered, for making all of these almost too cheap.
Well, they are too cheap. Look, you need some value in the game to entice people to get excited about opening it.
Or else, why would you want to spend $150 for a fucking box?
I mean, Sylvan Library. How much is a Sylvan Library? $22 now. That's great, but at the same time, it's also not.
It's also not because it's a fucking almost $70 card.
Oh, wow. That was once a $200 card.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at the graph, dude. I was going to say that, yeah, Bob, you're right. That was almost a $200 card at one point.
Yeah.
Not at one point, just at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Right. This is January.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not buying DMR ever again. I'm not buying a remastered set ever again. Unless I have faith.
But that's just a more condensed version of the problem that you have in every set. What's going to stop them from reprinting every decent card in every set that they print from now on?
Nothing, because they have special guests, and that shit ain't going nowhere.
Well, here's the thing, and I finally, the aha moment, I see what they're doing, and I think it's an absolute shit show.
Who would have thought?
They're trying to make it where the only cards, and there are cards that have value, like the confetti foils and things of that nature, that are still very expensive cards.
Yeah.
But how many people open a confetti foil versus opening boxes?
Well,
and the only boxes that have the valuable cards at this point
are the collectors.
Like, I can't imagine why anybody would want to buy a play booster at all.
Right.
You can't get the very expensive cards.
Yeah, so
all the very expensive cards are going to be in the collector sets from now on.
Dude,
So
what the
just
fuck?
buy
How is
collector
this $108?
But the problem with that is
that makes me
that
so
you can
mad.
buy a case of collector boxes
of course
and get punched in the sack, right? You can buy an entire case and lose large amounts of money.
Yes.
Right. So you're going to have
lost $150
so many people losing
on
money.
Dominaria Remastered sealed product by it just going on fucking sale over and over and over. Of course,
that's why I cracked the one I had sitting here. It's like,
God,
I'm only going to open it for a draft. I got the draft boosters, so now that they've gotten rid of draft boosters, there's nothing for me to buy.
But you can draft play boosters, Bob, for a higher price point. You can have the same amount of fun.
Savannah Lion. Whoa.
Holy.
There is a blast from the past. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, I missed you.
Very nice to see you, sir. Hope
Merry Christmas.
You're doing very well.
We're popping off. What did we get rated or something?
I don't know. I looked. There was 14.
But I'm enjoying having people here. Hey, look, we got Solar God, not to be confused with Solar Games people.
Yo, for real, Matt. God, he is the worst with names.
But
I thought it was Bob that was bad with names.
He's also bad, but I mean, Matt is like notable. Yeah, happy New Year's, everybody. Stay safe. Make sure to have lots of fun out there. Don't get too wild. Don't do anything I would.
Any remastered, any master set, really, any heavy reprint set is only going to head in one direction.
Well, on
straight to the bottom.
Okay,
so let's say bottom, but it's going to head down.
Let's check out the newest of mistake. Oh my God, come on, it's not even out yet. Look at it. Oh, it's like they stubbed their toe.
I just don't even care about that.
No, why would you?
Have they spoiled the set yet? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, it's fully out.
Have they spoiled it? Go watch Ascrius. He's opened up like 5 collector booster boxes already.
Dude, he pulled like what is like it's like 8 fucking Shocklands out of a collector box. That's too many, dude. It's too fucking many.
He does. Like,
dude. Like I said, here's what I talk about for Magic. So, I mean, I hate to get poopy even before the year starts, but look, everybody talks about how, I don't even say everybody, but like Rudy's trying to sell. And I think even Rudy has to, at this point, be going, what the fuck? That he can't believe what he's saying to people that, it's the opportune time now. Dude, WotC hasn't, I don't care if they cut print run numbers. That doesn't matter. The print run numbers don't matter. They're cutting them because they can't sell them, and they would have to sell them at complete losses, just like Dom Remastered and so many other things.
Yeah,
that's why they're cutting the print runs, not so they can help us and LGSs out, because they simply can't sell them, and they're just stacking up their warehouses. Don't think they're doing it for you and me. No, so cutting the print runs don't matter. But when all they're doing is printing cards that have already been printed, that just destroys anybody who's been collecting for the last 30 years.
Who's buying this? Okay. More Lorcana has been sold today than Ravnica Remastered. Good. Because those cards are going to be at best
and
worth the
same even mention price. A company that has 2 sets out so far that has only existed since August. The game. Really, September was really when it really existed. So 4 months, a game that's not even 4 months old, is in the same breath as Magic, the top of the fucking game, the top of the pile, the king of the mountain. To be in the same breath is absurd.
Oh, it's inequitable how much loss there is in most TCGs and how much of that market share has gone to and I want to keep saying Disney's Lorcana, but it's not. It's Ravensburger's Lorcana. And I think that's one of the big misnomers that people really do need to pay attention to, is that it's not Disney putting it out. It's Ravensburger, however the fuck you want to say it. It's an independent third-party company that's putting it out. They just have licensed the IPs. And I think that with their third set, Into the Inklands, them getting more access to the Disney vault with Tailspin and DuckTales, I think it is just further affirmation from Disney's licensing that Ravensburger is doing a good job. And now that we're seeing it on shelves, now that we're actually seeing a lower price on boxes, this is
and in the Disney store.
Say that again?
In the Disney store. And by the way, when I looked in the Disney store, they were all sold out. They just restocked the Disney store on the 22nd, and I went and looked at it, and it was, I don't know, see if they're back in again, but they were out of stock. Like, I was like, oh shit. So I mean, this is what I'm talking about, how TCG Player is a great measure for entrenched TCG enthusiasts, right? But we need to be paying attention to these kind of things, like on the Disney store. Like, can you buy it? Sold out. Yeah. Like I said, it was like that. Like I went and looked. Like
the
on the 23rd of the 24th,
$143.99. This is what box prices should be. Air quotes. So let's go back up to first chapter.
Yeah, well, but they charge like $15 shipping too. So I was not happy with the Disney store.
Shipping included,
and that's shipping included. So I mean, it's not terribly far off that price.
Oh,
they had one of those, like on the quick shop. Oh, that sold out too. I was gonna buy one of those, and then I looked at the shipping because it was only $30, and I was like, "Oh, I'll buy that."
And as far as these decks and stuff go, you can just buy most of this shit at Walmart, and that's why it's still available. And
I'm gonna tell you, buy them at your LGS if they're in stock.
Yeah.
Like, this Disney site is not for you. It's not for the people that visit our channel. Understand, everybody on this channel has been hearing about Lorcana for what, a year and a half now? And what that means in the context of what I'm saying is we're already going to have knowledge about what's happening. We pay more attention to this, to the card market than most normal people. The Disney site is meant for Disneyites, right? This is not meant for you and me. This is meant for people that don't have a clue that TCG Player exists. They've never been to an LGS, right? So again, I don't know if I've really gotten that point across it. I think this game, I think that Lorcana specifically is going to have a much broader reach than any other TCG. It's going to be things for people to buy. They're like, what's this? Well, it's a trading card game, right? I love Disney. I love Simba, right? It's the brand recognition is going to push this. If it can exist on shelves, it will sell. I can promise you that much.
Well, like you were saying too, how many people go through the gates a day, man? We know,
right?
It's fucking thousands.
I'd be very curious to see what their store numbers are like for Lorcana. Like, if we could get that, because they even have. Like, when did you ever go to Disney and see a queue for a product in a Disney store? I've never seen that in all the trips I've been to Disney, and I've been there many times.
Yeah, so have I.
I've never seen a queue for a product.
Nope.
At a Disney theme park. And did you
see
that?
Unless it's food.
Okay, but that's okay.
That's different,
not the
right?
Same thing.
That's different, right? Okay.
You try to get to a scheduled dinner with like the princesses and stuff. Good luck. If you have done it 6 months in advance, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's so special. It's not like a backpack or a hat or a pin or anything else that they have in their Disney store. There was a specific queue in line that got people's attention to say, what are all these people waiting for?
Yep.
Right. And there's millions of people walking by. So again, you're never going to see that for Magic. You're never going to see that even for Pokemon. Like, it just, you're not going to have queues of lines
on pre-sale. What the fuck is this? Yeah, this is two different versions. These are two. What the fuck are these people doing? There are two different sets of Yu-Gi-Oh on pre-sale. And then, don't get me wrong, I don't give a shit about this game. It's very whatever to me. Their cards are too small. I got these big dumb bear hands, so it doesn't work for me.
Is that true, Coach? Like, I haven't looked at the new sets, so that would be dope.
No, he is definitely trolling the shit out of you, Bob.
Well, I love it. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get Huey Louie Dewey.
He's doing a great job. Like, it's that
perfect,
fun...
Coach. Great troll, man. I think that's a great mechanic. I think they should have that. Have Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'm like crying a little bit how well that worked.
I don't even know if that's a Disney IP, but they should get them if they aren't.
Alvin?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay, fine.
Wait, no bullshit.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Chip and Dale.
What is it? It's Wendy. What are her two brothers?
What?
From Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Balls.
I don't think that's it.
No, that's not it, but I can't remember.
Is it like Theodore? Theo? Is it? I don't know. Doesn't she have two brothers? One with glasses and the little boy?
John and Michael.
Okay, there you go. Have the three of them quest at the same
Michael,
time in the
and
game.
Margaret is her grandchild? What the fuck?
Look at that. Richie on point. But yeah, I mean, I think that's great. And Coach, you know what? As a 50-something-year-old man, hell yeah, I would quest with Huey, Louie, and Dewey, or Wendy, Michael, and John, or I don't care. You know, bring it on. It's fun. I want fun.
Just Tailspin.
Yeah, like, I was just gonna say Tailspin. Like, get everybody on the plane from Tailspin. Let's go.
I am very excited to have these things on cards. Like, this is my childhood. I grew up with this shit.
Is that the Bears?
That's one of the things when Lorcana puts out a set, the things that they throw back to, the nostalgia
DJ, thanks for stopping by.
So much better than pretty much anything new in their sets. You know, when they did Strixhaven, okay, cool. It's a knockoff Harry Potter. I have no attachment to this. When I look at stuff like DuckTales, man, I remember sitting with my grandfather. He had one of those cabinet TVs where it was like all wood with those speakers built into it. Yeah, I remember watching this show with him. Yep. Yeah, there's nothing quite like that. When I look at Ravnica Remastered, it doesn't do shit for me. DuckTales, man, Scrooge swimming around.
I disagree, Savannah. I don't think that if they sold Magic in Disney stores that they would have a queue.
I'm gonna get some food in me. I need to get dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going pretty soon too. I'm starting to feel the effects. Feeling a little dragged down. I took some aspirin before I started the show, but I'm already starting to get my headache back. But
I would like to thank you for having me.
Oh, as always, Prime. It's great to get the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I
talk about you next time your camera won't work.
Huh?
I think DJ's got a thing going on here, and I don't want to, cross toes there either. It's just a good time for us to probably wrap it up for this week. But like I said, for anybody who didn't catch it earlier on, stay tuned in the next couple of weeks because there is a very strong possibility that we're going to have a baller guest, a big YouTuber, on our show. That would be great. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to drop the name. But please keep an eye out for us. We'll announce it beforehand if we lock things down. Let you guys know it'll be on Cardboard Conversation. So just tune in every Saturday at 7 and you won't miss it anyways.
Yeah, in preparation for that, just as a little tease, I'm going to play some Diablo 2.
Oh, nice.
Dope.
Nice.
So, hey,
I'm playing a lot of that lately.
It's been great. We've got New Year's Eve coming up. So I want everybody to go out there, have lots of fun, make sure you stay safe, and try and set up some resolutions, some things to help improve your life for next year. Do what you can. Admit it.
Man, busted.
Oh, I love that. Good stream, guys. 0 out of 5 size. Thank you very much, Richie. We appreciate you.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure, everybody, and good to see you all again. We're back from the holidays. We'll be back again next weekend, so don't fail to tune in.
We'll next weekend's my birthday.
Hopefully with a different take. I'd like to start looking at. I even bought some Magic this week to get above my $25. I did get one card that I really did enjoy. I think it's worth a couple of bucks, but not like uber expensive because it was a $40 bundle that netted
no we would not have Rudy on. Actually, we would have him on if he'd like to. But
that's a good one.
So I really enjoyed it. I looked at this, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, okay, and it's a rare. And then I flipped it over and I was like, oh, that's kind of dope.
Yep.
I was like, that's cool. I think it's like $12.
Yeah, they nailed the. I feel like they nailed the JP cards pretty good.
Oh yeah, Dr. Ian Malcolm, Chaos Tactician, yeah, for sure. That guy's a lot of good
Chaotician.
Chaotician. Yes, sorry. There's a lot of cool cards. I think it was very thematic, and one of my buddies is a big dinosaur player, so this is definitely right up his alley. I think that's a big takeaway for me in Magic 2023 is that there is a lot of good that Wizards of the Coast put out over the last year. You just have to sort through some of the muck to find it, you know?
I don't think Rudy would be a guest. He doesn't do well with these type of one-on-one interactions. From what very good at talking to a camera. From what I've seen, he's pretty awkward, like talking to people. I don't think it would make a great guest, to be quite honest. I don't think he would be very candid about things, just to be quite frank. I'd much rather have Edwin the Magic Engineer on, or I could even talk to, what's his name, Dan from Open Boosters. Like, he's got probably some interesting takes, but these guys understand. They're all about like the ABU, you know.
Yep.
They're not about current Magic at all. And we're much more about current Magic because we rarely ever talk about, beta. And that sort of era. And Power 9, none of us play a format that allows us to play any of the real interesting cards outside of Dual Lands. By the way, that's also big gifts that Miss Sherry got me for Christmas. She got me a couple of Dual Lands, a Tundra and a Scrubland. So I'm very happy with those as well.
What a gal.
Yeah. Even Mom chipped
in. Enjoy some of that sweet loving she's got. Give her a big old hug for me. And everybody out there, you have a great night. I'll see you in 2024.
Yeah. Be safe.
Bye.